This is the third episode of our tutorial about emails, queues, and the cron jobs. We strongly suggest watching previous 2 videos before playing this one. Link to both videos will be in the description. Okay, what exactly is a cron job? By Wikipedia definition, it is a command line utility used to schedule automated tasks to run periodically at fixed times, dates, or intervals. It typically automates system maintenance or administration. In the case of almighty support, cron jobs will trigger email queue to dispatch all created emails to the email server. We talked about email queue in our previous episode. It will also handle closing tickets automatically, clearing up attachments, deleting old notes, as well as email piping. In the default configuration, all external cron jobs in almighty support are disabled, which means all these tasks will rely on built-in WP Cron feature. WP Cron is an alternative built into every WordPress installation, and it runs in the background of your website every time someone loads the page. It doesn't matter if it's administrator, regular site visitor, or even the visitor without an account. Every time, on every page load, WP Cron will run. This solution is acceptable for small sites where traffic is not big. Having 10 people browsing your website and triggering a WP Cron in the background to fire up all these tasks won't even be noticeable, but what if you have 1,000 people browsing the site at the same time? Every moment one of those 1,000 people load the page, all of these cron jobs will trigger. Do we really want all the tasks to be executed on every possible page load? The argument can be made for mail queue and email piping cron jobs because that will definitely ensure a real-time delivery of emails and ticket responses, but we don't really need to have it for cleanup and maintenance tasks such as auto-close, attachments cleanup, and private notes removal. Instead, triggering the cron job for these tasks on every page load, we can set up external cron, which will trigger only in intervals we define. It can be once or twice every hour, every 5 minutes, once or twice a day, once every week, and so on. However, external cron cannot be configured anywhere in WordPress or almighty support configuration. That is why it is called external. The most common way to set up the cron job is through the control panel of your website provided by hosting provider. You can contact your hosting and ask them where or how to set up your cron jobs, and they should guide you without question. In this day and age, cron job availability on hosting is not a luxury, it is a commodity, and if your hosting provider does not allow cron jobs, then they really aren't worth a single penny that you pay them. Cron jobs simply must exist on your Unix-based server, regardless if it's a cheapest shared, VPS, or dedicated supercomputer hosting. The only case where you won't have access to cron jobs is if you're hosting the website on a Windows server, and if you're doing that, may I ask, why? Anyway, in case where you don't have access to control panel or any other means to run external cron jobs, you can always opt for the freemium third-party services which will allow you to run cron jobs from their interface. One such service is EasyCron. We will leave the link to this service in the description. For now, let's enable external cron job for auto-close feature, which we will use as an example in this tutorial. Now we need to open 2 pages, one is EasyCron interface, and the other is almighty support documentation about cron jobs. On this page, you can see all available commands if you want to set up cron jobs through control panel, or all available URLs if you want to use third-party services. Once again, link to both these pages will be in the description. Because we want to set up external cron for auto-close feature, we will simply copy the URL and then go on the EasyCron website to set it up. Click on this button to add the new cron job. In the pop-up that opens, paste the URL into required URL to call field, but do not forget to actually change the domain.com part into your actual website domain. Choose the interval, let's say 12 hours, which means this cron task will run twice a day and finish with clicking on the Create Cron Job button. Our external cron job for auto-close feature is now ready, and it will run only 2 times a day instead on every page load. You can repeat this process for all available cron jobs if you wish to run them externally. That's it for this video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow us on social media. All relevant links are in the description. Thanks for watching.